Hey guys, Bondo here. So I'm going to show you this job. We got ourselves into a pretty good mess here. You can see in the background that foundation is just crumbling. This garage is kind of hanging by a thread. We were hired to come over and pour this floor for these people, and we were going to take their floor out and pour a new floor in their garage, and we discovered a big mess. So stay with us. It's going to be interesting how we're fixing this thing. We got the whole darn garage up on poles. Looks like a pole barn just to hold it up. We ripped the whole wall out. Stay tuned. Hey guys, Bondo here. We are going to be taking out a garage floor and pouring a new floor. So the boys have been over here cutting, so to show you how we get rid of these floors. So this floor is in really rough shape. It's just cracked all over the place. It's probably got a bunch of clay underneath it, and it's just been heaving through the years. I'm thinking there's no wire or rebar in it, just the way it's separating like that. It looks like it's pushing up. So we're hoping that it does not have any wire or anything in it. We have to, not sure how we're gonna get underneath that door. Might have to cut across that. And we're gonna take this apron out too, and put a new apron in for him. But this is what it looks like. It's just a 24 by 30, I believe. Just a small one. So we're gonna take these stairs out because they're landing on it. We had to cut around these posts because they hold up this right here. They hold up that little awning or whatever you want to call it. And we cut around this one too because that one holds the corner of it. So we're going to have to come up with something to temporarily hold this thing up. And the same thing with this right here. It's partially supported. So that's what we're up to. The boys are unloading the skidster right now. I just picked it up from the dealer. Had an issue with it, but it's fixed. It was under warranty, so they're unchaining that. I got forks with me. Got the bucket and the forks. All we're gonna be doing is taking that concrete and putting it over here in a pile. The homeowner's gonna deal with it. So stay tuned. Show you how we do these floors. We change out a lot of floors, old crappy concrete. So she's starting to come up, guys, but it's hanging up, so we're picking up all this, and we don't want to pop his doors out of whack either. So that one's busted right there, which is good. This is gonna try to jack a little bit of that free so we can get this big piece here out. How's the height look? Does it look like I can get in there?
Yeah, especially once we get this out.
Yeah, we'll gain some height here in a minute. Nice thing too is they didn't pour down in the cell of the blocks there. Sometimes this concrete goes right down in that first course of blocks, and what a pain to get it out. This doesn't look super thick, so we're hoping it comes out nice. Like, comes out clean and nice. Looks like your saw cut's all broke free.
Oh, I've had it completely buried.
Yeah, you're through there then.
Definitely through there. Yeah. I missed this thing. Fuck it. What should I do with all that little rubble? Should I get like a bucket or something to start dumping it? Huh? We'll pick up all that stuff after. Just get all these big ones out.
This one takes nothing. We're gonna do all that.
We got to probably mess with this dirt a little. I don't know. It's pretty sandy gravel there.
Yeah.
It's not horrible.
It's really not.
We just didn't pour it thick enough. That's only 2 inches over there.
Yeah, that grates.
Then you got 4.5 over here. Should be able to get this one. You got about 8-10 inches above you. Yeah. I got it cut around that post pretty good. The old biscuit counterweight. We might need to set the dumpster on here too. Woo! Yeah.
That's why you hire big boys, isn't it?
The old counterweight action here. OSHA approved, baby.
I set it down.
Alright.
The
It's
pipe.
just the pipe. Oh. Pick her back up. Pick her up.
It's not much, but it's honest work.
Yeah. Just careful going out that.
You're good.
Yeah.
Now we gotta watch it right.
OSHA approved right here.
All right, guys, we got a pretty big mess over here. This top course here was all busted off, so like it was deteriorating. So we got that cleaned out of there. We're gonna lay a new course on that. And then this back wall is really bad. You could see earlier I showed you some of the holes that were in it. You can see some of them holes, but it's worse on the outside. So I'm going to show you the outside here in a second. But we're going to have to dig it up and fix it. It's all going to be a lot of handwork inside of here. But the outside, we're going to have to dig up with the excavator. And we're going to need to put a drainer on this whole building, I think. So I will show you around back here. I just brought the excavator over so we can dig this thing. Of course, it's raining out. Or it was. I don't know if you can see it very well, guys, but that whole course is just deteriorated from water being in there. It's eroded. I don't know if it's a bad block or what, but you can see right there. I'll show it to you a little better when I get it exposed, but right here as well is all deteriorated. So we got a pretty nice mess here we're going to have to fix. So I'll show you how we fix it. It's gonna be not a lot of fun though, I can tell you that much. I have to dig these trees out of the way, dig this whole corner down to the footer, and that's what we're gonna have to do, unfortunately.
So we're digging around this, and as you can see, the block wall is deteriorated. As we were digging, there was just a river of water pouring out of the wall. You can kind of see right here, coming out. See the blocks just falling right apart. All that water coming out of the wall.
Okay, this is what she's looking like. That whole bottom is deteriorated. That's all gone right there. This whole corner is just, bear with me, it's all mud. It's all eaten away all the way around. Basically, all the way to there. Not sure how we're gonna fix it. I think it's gotta come out and we're gonna put a new wall in, honestly. Not sure, but this whole garage is sitting on it, so we will see. So this is what we're up to the next day, guys. We are digging this sucker out. The boys are in the inside digging. Got the outside dug. That's what we're dealing with. The whole wall wants to fall out because of that. There's nothing holding it. So this whole house, this whole garage is kind of hanging by a thread here. Same thing here. This wall is pushing out because of that. Deteriorating, it's just falling backwards. So there's a big bow in it. So I got this corner ripped out, but this is, these blocks are, and pulling it apart with your hands. So the mortar's the only thing holding anything together. This is all loose. Dustin's in there with the jackhammer. He's gonna take this out so we can at least get a corner established and get something sitting on something good here before we take too much more out. You have to do this in stages, a certain amount each day. Just make sure you don't hit these walls. Just do the bottom. I'm just gonna tell you to move that corner. That corner's filled with mortar, so that's the really. That's a footer right there. You're good. So they trench poured this footer, unfortunately. See how it's all jagged and weird? They just trench poured it. So we found the drain for the house is right there. See that little pipe there? So we are going to put a perimeter drain around this thing. But we gotta fix it first. But our perimeter drain is gonna have to go up on top of this footing. But that'll get all this bulk water out of here, at least down by the first course. I like to put it beside the footer, but that footer is way out here over here. It just tapers, just goes right out, and they just put a bunch of concrete in there. So we're gonna have to work around that, but we gotta get this bottom course chipped out so we can get this corner laid up. Dustin's just gonna keep chipping away at it. Looks like they filled the mortar cells in the bottom course, but there's no anchor bolts or nothing holding the garage to the foundation. At least there wasn't in this corner. I pulled this corner block out. And there's no anchor bolt or nothing here, so that's another issue. I gotta fix. Stay tuned. Okay, you got 2 supports in there, guys. Show you how crumbly these blocks are. Ready? That's what we're dealing with right there, guys. That is what we're dealing with. Even up here, they're not super good. See? These are just shitty blocks. Nothing to them. Biscuit's putting some screws into these 6x6s so they don't move. But this house is going to be sitting on 6x6s here shortly. Unbelievable.
Barely tapping it. It's just all falling apart.
Check it out. Oh, shit. We gotta get some bracing.
Yeah. All right. We'll be back, guys.
How'd you make out?
Huh?
How'd you make out?
I got it buried all the way down through there. Now I think if you hit them inwards, it should crack right along
The
that
cut right here because of that. We're afraid this whole freaking wall is gonna just go poof. We want to get another post in here. We got 2 here in the corner. But this whole wall being undermined like that just is gonna want to just go poof.
It all wiggles.
So we want to get that section busted off and get another post in there just to kind of get some more weight supported. Easy, Buck. The whole piece is moving. Let's see this out here, guys. Right here, you can oh, fell in the hole. This damn thing, you can kick your foot right through this. Completely shot. We're getting her braced up though. This whole wall is shaking.
Yeah, accumulated.
That's how we're doing it. Round 2 here. That's where we stopped, right where that saw cut was, because that bad boy is hanging by a thread. Just whacking the last bit of the wall out, guys.
On this side.
On this side, yeah. We got a new nickname for Dustin over here. We're gonna call him Gopher because he dug 90% of this. Say hi to the camera, Gopher. He dug almost all this and most of that today. And this is day 2, is all this is. We're on day 2. And we took the whole floor out of this garage yesterday. So we are killing it, even though we don't want to be killing it because we don't want to be doing this. We only wanted to replace the floor over here. Oh, Biscuit's whacking away. That's like all blocks there. Blocks here, blocks here. Big pile over there that I scooped out with the excavator. We're not gonna mess with this wall right now, because that whole thing's gonna fall. So we wanna get some blocks in here tomorrow on this back wall and get ourselves something that's gonna hold up here. And the nice thing is they didn't really do this very good, so it was easier to take apart, because here's your anchor bolts. There is 3 anchor bolts in this back wall, and I think it's 30 feet long. So they got 3 anchor bolts, one here, one here, and one down by Biscuit right there. 3 anchor bolts, and they didn't key into the wall at all. They just laid
right here.
Oh, they keyed in there? No, they didn't. They just put a little mortar in there. They just laid it up against the wall. There's no rebar in there or nothing. It's just laid up against there. They didn't cut any slots or break any holes to get anything in there. Didn't core fill anything. There's no core fills anywhere in this wall, which we're kind of glad. Not the right way to do it, but we're glad because it came apart easy. Easier. Shouldn't even say easy, because nothing we do is easy. We'll call it less difficult. Right, Biscuit?
Having fun.
Biscuit's having fun. Tomorrow we'll be laying blocks. Or dry stacking them, right? We're not gonna lay them, we're gonna dry stack them and parge both sides. That's the game plan.
Yeah.
Wedge them in as we go, then plaster both sides of the wall. And put some drainage around this bad boy. All right, guys. This is the end of day 2. Yesterday we took the floor out and discovered this mess. So we're about ready to get out of here. We really didn't even work 8 hours today, but we've had enough. So I just want to show you what we got done. This corner where Jay saw cut that, Big Biscuit. Got these posts in here. Everything's braced up all the way down to the corner. We got everything footer all clean, ready to rock and roll. Everything's up on these pillars. This is the inside here. Everything's dug up. Big Biscuit. Gopher dug all the way across to there, pretty much. We're thinking we're gonna have to replace that front wall too, most likely. So, but we're not gonna take anything more out of here until we put something underneath it, something like blocks wise. So we'll be back tomorrow. Here's a good look from above what we're at, where we're at. We got this whole wall taken out and over to here. We really don't want to take anything more out. That whole bottom is just gone. So we don't want to go any further till we start putting some blocks in. All right, guys, we got the mini excavator over here. We got Kevin the Kubota. We just brought in some blocks with the truck and trailer. We got 3 cubes of blocks there. Unloaded them with Kevin. And this is what we're doing. So today, it's really wet over here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dry stack these blocks in here, and we're gonna drill down into the footer and put some rebar in there and stuff, and we're gonna drill it into the wall over there, and we're gonna dry stack these blocks in here, and then plaster both sides with Comproco, the block bond with the fibers in it. It's made for doing this. You can dry stack blocks, and the reason we're doing that is just to get this thing secured as fast as we can, and as most inexpensive as we can. So the labor is going to be less if we just stack them in there. I got a high lift jack. I'm going to be jacking the house up and setting the blocks in there, cutting them. The last course we're going to cut to fit, and then we're going to do some core filling. Once we get everything under there, we're going to cut the sill plate back, put some rebar in the wall, the same spots that we got it into the footer, and we are going to core fill, and then we'll have plaster both sides of the wall, and we'll be good to go. But then once we get this back and start around this corner, I want to rip this out. But like I said, I don't dare go any further because I mean, there's just nothing left of that. You can see that thing is just hanging by a thread. And we go any further, we're liable to knock this garage right off its foundation and cave right in. So not super safe. We're trying to make it as safe as we can and get it built up as quick as we can. So this is how we're starting, guys. I'm putting rebar down in the footer every 4 feet, and that is going to get core filled. And then we're sticking, I don't know if you can see it, that horizontal rebar. We're cutting the ends of the block, or the head joints off the block right there on top, busting them out, making a bond beam out of it. And then we're gonna stick rebars in these holes every course. And then when we fill that cell, we'll vibrate that from the top. I'm gonna cut this sill plate back like this so we can get concrete down in there. And that's how we're gonna handle that. Like I said, we're just dry stacking. So once we get up to this plate right here, I'm gonna be using a high lift jack and jacking up the foundation so I can take this one out as I slide in my blocks. I gotta cut this old anchor bolt off. There's actually just 3 anchor bolts on this 30-foot wall. So that's how I'm doing it right there. Biscuits cutting rebar and blocks. I got my big drill there. And that's what we're doing. Stay tuned. All right, guys, here's how we're doing it. We are using the high lift jack with a 6x6 up along the bottom of the wall. We're jacking it up as we're going, and we're taking these out, these supports out. But to get the blocks in, we are, I'm back in the inside here, we're using a little bottle jack, and we're jacking up the plate, and we're sliding custom cut blocks inside of here, and then we're lowering it back down so that the weight's sitting on the wall. That's how far we've gotten. So we're doing all right. It's not super fast, but it's we're kind of moving along pretty good, and feeling better about getting some weight on this wall versus being on stilts over here. So that's how we're doing it. I'll keep updating as we progress here. Roll that beautiful green footage.
We got the gopher in his natural habitat with a shovel in his hand.
What?
So we got the gopher in his natural habitat with a shovel in his hand.
Gopher digging. He does what he does best. Digs. Yeah. Where'd you get the name Gopher?
Not because I run fast.
The bottom block's in pretty decent shape, actually.
Yeah, gorgeous.
I mean, it ain't bad.
It's like a rotten tooth.
It's not bad at all, really.
Yeah, it just turned back to sand. Oh, real good, Ron.
Sorry, dude. Sorry.
Got that on film.
I think we could have plastered this, actually.
Yeah.
We could have parged that. It would be good to go. Don't you think, boys?
Yeah, you know, it's only 8 inches thick, or a little shy, maybe 7.
Yeah, we could have fixed that. We have the technology.
We got this whole entire wall laid in here. Looking nice. It's all dry stacked.
The dry stack system.
Now we're gonna knock this wall out, brace it all up, and dry stack in more.
Get some popcorn. We're gonna be here again.
Yeah. Get your
We'll be here for a
YouTube.
while.
Popcorn out. Watch out, Gopher.
Yep.
Oh, that's solid down in there.
Oh yeah.
That part right
You're only moving 4 foot of wall right now.
is solid.
Barely hitting it.
Not bad.
Some high quality blocks right there. Oh, they core filled that one.
What? They core filled it, but they cheated.
These stones and chunks of blocks, they just filled the top.
Alright, we better not go any further until we get some braces in here, huh?
Yep.
We gotta jackhammer all this off and then
Get all that crap out of
put a
here.
couple more braces under here.
Dustin, will you grab a chipping bit for that other gun?
Alright guys, end of day 3. And here's where we're at. We got the wall fixed up to there. All the way down to there. Just needs to be plastered and it needs to be core filled. We got that thing still hanging there. We've been running our rebars in there every 4 feet, and then we're going to core fill every 4 feet. So that's how we did it. We're using that little bottle jack like I showed you. Got this big high lifter picking it up. I think once we get that anchor bolt right there, there's 1 anchor bolt here. That's 2 in this wall so far. From there was 1 down there. There's 1 way over here. There was only 3 in that 30-foot wall back there. So I think once we free this anchor bolt and knock a chunk of that out, it's going to push this wall back. We have a string line on this wall right now, and you can see the string line represents where we want the wall. So it's good down there and it's good down there, but you can see the gap. So we got to get this wall to come back before we set it down on the wall, the new wall. But that's how she looks. Boom. We did all these blocks in 1 day today, so that's why we did it that way. It's a lot quicker, more cost effective for the homeowner. So ready to get out of here. It's definitely beer 30. It's been a long day. We got old Johnny D over here, plaster master, parging our wall. The plaster master. And Dustin's up here mixing up Comproco. We're using Comproco foundation coat. It's got fiberglass in it. A lot of additives. It's real sticky. Johnny's putting on a real thick coat. He's kind of wedging it in any gaps here on the top. He's pushing it in there. And these cuts are kind of funky going down through here, so that's how we're going to do both sides of it. We're going to get a good coat on both sides of it, and then that's going to be super strong. This stuff has fiberglass in it, like I said. It uses a hawk. My shoulder still doesn't like parged, so we get the master over here. Hard to see from this angle, but it's going to be stronger than if we just laid it up, guys. This will be stronger. This is where I'm over here working, this corner. Biscuit's cutting me some blocks for the top, but we're getting close down to here. Got the wall back straight. As we took the old wall out, I put a string line on it and it come back quite a bit. Just about perfect. Pretty soon we got to get into this corner, but we're working under this doorway right now. Stay tuned. I'll keep you updated as the progress continues. Big Biscuit doing some hand chucking. He's just throwing the inside dirt here, and I got the Yanmar here. I'm gonna dig it out. That's all the crap from the old wall. Johnny and Dustin are inside plastering. Tell you what, guys, this is the way to repair a wall like this. Don't try to lay them under there. This will take half the time. This is day 2, and we didn't even really put in a full day yesterday. So if we had to lay these under there, I'll tell you what, it would take a lot longer. a lot longer, probably twice as long. And once we bottle jack that wall up and set on there, that house is stable now. That garage is stable. Ain't gotta worry anymore. A little sketchy before, but now I'm feeling really good about it because we're all the way to that door and that's got weight on it, so we're looking really good now. Just gotta assess this front wall. I'm pretty certain it's gonna look just like the rest of it, but we're kind of half hoping that we won't have to repair it, but who knows. I think it's gonna be the same as the rest of it. We'll know here in a little bit. We'll get this corner cleaned out, start heading the other direction and see how bad that bottom tier of blocks is. It's going to be this bottom under here. I already took one course off the top of there just from driving across it with the excavator, or with the bobcat, pulling the floor out. We wrecked that course. That course is pretty bad shape too. Stay tuned. Okay, we're in the front wall here, guys, and actually this material here is pretty gravelly and stony that came out of here, so the blocks aren't in as bad a shape. So we're actually taking out the bottom course from where Jay is. There's 2 blocks he replaced, and jackhammering out from under there, and we're gonna slide new blocks underneath there and parge them in place, and then we can just core fill the cells of the blocks to hold them in there. The parge will hold them in, but we're gonna core fill as well. Jay's just cleaning out the bottom, Jay and Johnny, and we can slide them blocks in. John's got his parge in there. That's all parged. The back's parged. I'll show you that in a little bit. But this block right here is deteriorated around the corner here, so we need to get that out of there. But I think we can work our way right around this corner. Then all we got to do is fill in under this doorway, and we'll be in good shape. So that's where we're at. See how he's doing that? He's just gonna slide that under there, and then we'll plaster that with the block bond. Once we self-fill that sucker's not going anywhere. Nice little fix there, saving us a little time from tearing this whole thing out and having to deal with that man door over there. That's all solid over there. Must be it was close enough to the perimeter drain. So this is gonna be good. A little better than having to do the whole thing. This corner's sitting on there, so hopefully we don't have to do anything to that corner either, except fill it in. So we replaced a bunch of these bottom blocks here, guys. I'm just talking to the camera. Packed them in, replaced the bad ones in the bottom, placed these ones in the bottom here. We cut this all out so that we can weave them in and out. We're just filling this last piece in around the door. We just put some mud in there to hold them for now, and then Johnny's going back over it with a big thick coat of fiberglass plaster. That's what we're doing. Okay guys, here's where we're at on the foundation repair. Yesterday we really did well. I had my buddy Johnny over here, call him the plaster master. So he plastered everything up outside and inside. We got this corner all fixed up. You could see in the video there how we did that. We were able to salvage this corner pretty much, weave in some new blocks. We were able to salvage this front wall except for the top course. We did lay in a new top course at the end of the day, but we slid basically some blocks in here underneath around the corner. They were eaten away, and then we put, I don't know, 4 or 5 blocks in here in the bottom, ones that were bad, and then we mixed up some concrete. We got some Portland, 4 bags of Portland, and we made some concrete, and we filled these cells all down through here so that those blocks that are in the bottom are filled right solid with concrete. This whole thing is, so that we can drive over it. Now I am going to put a perimeter drain in here. So I'm just getting here in the morning. I'm waiting for some material I got a load of stone coming and a couple loads of gravel. So when that gets here, I'm going to start putting my perimeter drain in here. I'm gonna have a drain all the way around this thing, all the way around, and it's going to tie into his existing perimeter drain on the back there where we exposed it. And that's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna get this thing drained and basically we're not gonna use any of this material here. We're gonna get rid of 90% of that, all those blocks and everything. Get rid of that, and we're gonna backfill with the gravel and stone. We're gonna put stone on the bottom with a pipe and then gravel the rest, and we might use some of this sandy clay just to build up along here. But I'm gonna get some more material over here for backfill, some sand basically. We're gonna try to pitch this whole thing away from his garage. All this water that comes in, we're gonna try to get it pitching away so that he doesn't end up with this problem again. That's what we're doing. Stay tuned, I'll show you how we do this drain. Ready for the bang. Not too bad, actually. Some of them tailgates will rack your brain. Here's the perimeter drain, guys. You got our stone. The holes that go down. This is a perforated drain. Hey Jay, that one needs to be spun. The writing's usually up.
Not right.
It's not?
It is a little off, but
You're turning your other one now. Most of the time the writing should be up.
not perfect.
Okay.
Off quite a
Check
bit.
your other one too, because when you spun that, you
Step
just
on that
you just-
pipe and hold it. This one's still good.
so good, but just spun about 2 inches, so it must not have been good the first time.
Must have spun with that one.
Once you get it bedded, I can just dump it. We do it. Hooking up the pipe to the other pipe. It goes down in there to the pipe that's on the house, basically. You get her?
Yep.
Step out of the way so I can show YouTube how we did it. So that's where it hooks into the existing pipe for the house. It kind of drops down, kind of goes right downhill to that pipe. So, because we can't put it down to the footer because the footer's trench board and it comes way out to here. It's all jagged and everything. Yeah, it's like 5 foot wide in some spots. So we just hooked it around right into the old pipe. So any water that comes around this entire garage from the front right around is gonna go in there. And I'll show you how we're gonna cover it with Marify here in a bit. But I gotta get some more stone and cover all this with stone, just like that. Okay guys, so we about used up that whole pile of stone right there. We got a little bit left, but I'll put some in the inside, but look how much full we got this out of stone. That should keep any sticky clay off the wall for sure. Let the the water run into that drain pipe and out, and he won't have any more problems all the way down through. Now we're gonna put some material on the inside, that gravel right there. It's called item 4. It's a 2" minus crushed gravel, packed like a mother. We're gonna put some of that on the inside. Keeps the pressure off the wall, so that's what this stuff looks like. The stone was 2" number 2 stone, they call it. It's round stone. This is all just crushed. It's got a lot of stone and stone dust in it. Item 4. 2 loads of that. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make a ramp across this wall and get some stuff in there. We gotta take some stuff out of there, some clay out of the inside. Might have to get the bobcatting over here for that. Now we're putting Marify paper on there, guys. It's like a felt paper, and that will keep the it's not really felt, it's like a cloth. That's gonna keep the sediment out of the stone. It's pretty durable stuff. But you put that down, and then we put some gravel on top of that so that nothing will get into our stone. Our stone will stay clean, and that's how we do it. Keep that pipe clean. That pipe will work for 100 years if you do it right. Won't get clogged up. If you don't use this stuff, that pipe can get clogged up with sediment and clay and stuff. That's what we're doing now. And then I got some gravelly stuff I'm gonna put on top. I got some of this gravel that came out of this front wall. It was all good. What's that?
He tried handing me the knife. I said, "You see why I don't want it?"
Oh, Biscuit's got it all figured out in life, doesn't he? Alright, I gotta get back on the old skidster. Kevin Kubota skidster. What we're doing here, guys, is we're backfilling, and we're trying to put even pressure on both sides of this wall. So we're actually tamping the outside of the wall as well. Got the big tamper out here. Big biscuit with the big tamper. Quick show you the inside here. We also want to get some gravel around this man door so that that's not all muddy for him. But we got this front filled in here with all gravel. We took a lot of the sandy stuff. It's like a sandy, gravelly mix. We took that out and put that around the outside. And we put that item 4 on the inside, that pile that's over there. We also finished up our stone. We probably had maybe 3 yards of stone. We put the stone in the bottom, which will actually help if there's any water down low. That'll help it leach out to the outside. So we put some stone down. Then we put this item 4. Item 4 is 2" minus crushed gravel, so there's no clay or nothing in it. It's wet because it rained yesterday, so it's packing like a mule here. It's wicked good. So that's what we're doing. We're just trying to keep even pressure on the wall so that we don't push the wall out, because we have not core filled yet. We're going to core fill, but it's going to be a lot nicer to core fill after we get our back filled. Because we are going to core fill every 4 feet here, and there is rebar going down into the footer. We put like X's on our core fill areas. Up there. Those are areas we're going to core fill. Bam, bam. One there. One there. They're kind of getting covered with stuff. And then we're going to put anchor bolts in and bolt the building back down. So we're actually going to have to cut this plate back, like with a saw, just cut it back like that, and then core fill, stick our long rebar down in to tie into our short rebar, then core fill that every 4 feet. But it's going good. We're getting her here. It's looking better and better over here. It's starting to dry out too, sun came out. It rained pretty hard yesterday, but things are drying out. Still some mud over here. That skidster don't give a care. Goes right through the mud. Thing's a beast. Kevin's a beast. Kevin the Kubota. Got the gopher in his natural habitat. The gopher digging in his natural habitat. What? Yeah. I'll get it with a skidster. Take all this out, put the item 4 in there. What we're doing. Alright guys, we're just cleaning up here. Got everything looking nice. It's only 2 o'clock. We're going over to another job, but we got this all backfilled and kind of cleaned up, graded halfway decent. Coming through. We put a pitch on this garage floor. Everything's tamped. We did the big tamper. We used a little tamper where we couldn't get the big one in, but then we hit it with the big guy. Got chalk lines all the way around the perimeter. Ready to rip. We just gotta put our bulkhead on over the door and we'll be ready for concrete here. We might pour this thing tomorrow or the next day. Today's Monday. It's either Tuesday or Wednesday. We got this rough graded. It's still wet, so it's not supposed to rain this week, so I'll let it sit for a couple days and give them a little nicer grade. We can put his propane tanks back over here, but I think we're gonna maybe form up a little pad to put them on if we got any concrete left over. It looks a lot different than it did last week, as you can see. All right guys, we are here to do the floor, which was our original plan before the whole debacle with the foundation falling in on us. So we were waiting for mud. Supposed to be here like right about now. It's 1 o'clock. Oh yeah, took out our water bottles. Big biscuit, Bondo Construction. I got my own too. It says Bondo on it. Mine's blue. So we're waiting on mud. We got Chris and Mike coming over to help us. It's gonna be me, Big Biscuit, Gopher, and Chris and Mike Regan. We're gonna knock this thing out today. Rowan's over here hanging out for support. Right, Ro? He's just chilling like a villain by the tree. Stay tuned. We're gonna pour this thing, get her done. Here comes the mud, guys. Here it is. But that truck don't even have any lettering on it. Must be one of them new ones, huh? Guide them down that other driveway or something. Nah, I don't know. Yeah. Who's this dude? New driver. I don't know who this is. We got a new driver today here, huh? We're gonna have to put all the chutes on there, see how far he can reach. This is Circle T, they just don't have any lettering on this truck. 315-963-2231 is their number. They did buy some used trucks, new to them trucks. so now they have more trucks in their fleet. We're gonna put on some chutes. Hopefully the slump is decent. Not really wet because it is a little after 1 o'clock, so we don't want to be here too long. We're gonna see what the slump looks like, guys. We got it in here. You sure you don't want to? I think we should wheel that back. You want to?
It's not gonna flow down the chute very good.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
can try. I mean, it's gonna flow worse into the wheel, Carlos.
Oh, you want to pull it? That's a solid 10 feet. You'll be pulling. Well, let's see what it looks like first. Oh, that's pretty thick, ain't it? That's pretty stiff. Probably one about. Yeah. Why don't you put 5 gallons in it and mix it up?
Smoking bad back there.
What is?
The truck.
The truck is? Uh-oh. Do you think 5 gallons in that, Chris, or you want more?
How many yards does it go?
You've got 9 yards.
Give it 10 gallons.
Give it 10 gallons, buddy.
I got like a couple shots.
Uh-oh, something wrong with the truck.
Too much weight.
That's a little tight right there for us. We don't want to work with that.
The chute scraper don't want to work with that either. The handle just started
Nothing wants to
cracking.
work with that. That's curb material right there. About a 2 or 3 slump. I'd rather have to add water than take it out, though. Especially when it's 1 o'clock, about 1:30 now. So dump it over by him. Let's see what it looks like. That's a long way to pull it. We gotta get that big first clump out of there. That's gonna be tight. Yep. Get ready to pull that out and pull yours right in quick. Right in quick.
Booby trap. Still pretty tight.
Well, let's get a little more out and see what it looks like. Go ahead, buddy. Still tight, ain't it? Oh, that's looking better now. That's looking better. All right.
Some of that fiber.
Natural fibers right there. Yeah, that's a little nicer, guys. That's much nicer. You like that, Chris? You can move that around, right?
Better.
Want another 5 in there? You think? Yay or nay? No. Okay. That's what I was thinking. It's 1:30. Just finishing things up, guys. Laying the garage down by hand.